Happy day to everyone. Welcome to San Academy Pallikarnai. Today we are going to discuss about Chapter 8 Motion Part 3 from Class 9. So now we are going to discuss about rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity is nothing but an object which is accelerated with respect to time. Suppose you are considering a uniform motion of a body in a straight line, an object which is moving in a straight line, then the velocity remains constant with time. So I told you clearly when we are considering uniform motion, how we are saying, because every hour or every distance, it carries a constant speed, right? So in uniform motion of a body in a straight line, the velocity remains constant with time. In this case, the change in velocity at any time interval is zero. That means that is change in velocity at any time interval is zero. There is no change in velocity. We are saying it is constant, but we should not take it as a zero. The velocity is there. Okay. So for non-uniform motion, during non-uniform motion, the velocity changes with the time. Okay. In this case, change in velocity at any time interval it is not zero. Then it may be positive or negative. You know very well in non-uniform motion. Why? Because there is some change in velocity in a particular given interval of time and also the distance. So the quantity which specifies changes which in velocity is called what? Acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but it is the change in velocity of a body per unit time or the rate of change of velocity. Change in velocity is equal to what? Acceleration per unit time. If the velocity of a body changes from initial value to the final value v in time, then the acceleration a is equal to change in velocity. We can represent as v minus u divided by t. And the SI unit of acceleration is nothing but meter per second square, because you know that velocity we know meter per second and the time which carries the SI unit second, then you will get the acceleration SI unit is what? Meter per second square. Now we will discuss detailedly about uniform acceleration and non-uniform acceleration. I told you clearly, if the change in velocity is equal in equal interval of time, it is known as what? Uniform acceleration. And non-uniform acceleration, if the change in velocity is unequal in unequal or equal interval of time, it is called non-uniform acceleration. So we will discuss related to this graphical representation, right? So now you can see they are taking an x-axis the quantity what they are taking time, and they have taken y-axis acceleration, right? Acceleration. So any object which is tends to travel in a particular constant speed, so what it means, which is carrying a constant speed every interval of time. Okay, so what it means, it considered as a uniform acceleration. And again, if you are seeing this graphical representation x and y, so x-axis time they have taken and y-axis acceleration they have taken. So every interval of time you can see there is some non-uniformity in the velocity. You understand? So we can say it is a non-uniform acceleration. So very important note, graphical representation of motion. See, a graphical representation is nothing but it is relating to the two sets of a data or two sets of the quantity which is carrying a dependent variables or other it is a independent variables. Okay, so for this graphical representation we can clearly analyze the motion of an object. So it is easy way to determine the motion of an object. So now we will discuss detailing. So what is actually graph? Graph is a pictorial representation of the relation between two sets of a data of which one set is dependent variable. The dependent variable means it is dependent only with respect to some physical quantity, and other set is nothing but it is independent variable. It will not actually dependent to the any variable at all. So example we can say time. See, if the time it passes, what happened again, it will not return it back. Okay, that condition we are saying it is an independent variable. It will not dependent to any quantity. The time will not dependent to the speed or acceleration. Okay, got it. So in this case, to describe the motion of an object, we can use the line graphs. So line graphs shows dependence of one physical quantity such as distance or velocity, or another quantity what such as time. Time only I'm telling independent variables. Got it? Let us see the distance time graph. So the change in position of an object with the time can be represented on the distance time graph. See here, we are going to relate the independent variable and dependent variable. So the distance only dependent to the time, right? So in this case, we are considering an object which is moving in a particular direction, and it is with respect to the time. And you know, in x-axis what we are taking, in x-axis always we should take independent variable, and in y-axis we have to take independent variable. In this graph, time is taken along x-axis and the distance taken along y-axis. Distance time graph of a moving body can be used to calculate the speed of the body. So mainly distance and time graph, what it tells, speed of the body. So see here, this is my interval time of along x-axis, and along y-axis I am taking the interval of distance. Okay, so every point, if you are considering the every point, right? See, I will draw clearly. So this case, the first portion of the time and the first point of distance, and this case, first second point of time and second point of distance. Okay, so what it means, it is moving with the constant speed. Any slope, if you are carrying no slope, so this slope which gives the constant speed for every point. So it means what? It gives the speed of the body. Distance time graph for a body moving at uniform speed is always straight line, as distance traveled by the body is directly proportional to time, as shown in below figure 1. And second one, the distance time graph for a body moving with non-uniform speed. Suppose you are a car which is moving with the unequal interval of time, then the graph representation like this. So it is varying no comparatively to this one and this one, because the variation of the speed is showing in the graph itself. So what it means, non-uniform speed. The distance time graph is parallel to time axis when the object is at rest. So here, this is one of the condition. The axis is parallel to this motion of an object in the straight line. So what it means, the object is at rest. That is now nothing the distance which is covered by the object, and the time only passes away. And here you can see the distance carrying a equal interval of time. Then the graph represents what? Constant speed. It carries a constant speed. To calculate the speed of the body from distance time graph, say at point A, first draw a perpendicular AB on time axis and perpendicular AC on distance axis, so that AB represents what? The distance traveled by the body in time interval OB, and since we know that speed is equal to distance traveled by time taken, that is AB by OB. Velocity time graph. So in this condition, it will give acceleration. That means the variation in velocity with the time for an object moving in a straight line can be represented by a velocity time graph. In this graph, time is represented along the x-axis and the velocity is represented along the y-axis. So first condition, there is no acceleration of an object. So second condition, showing uniform acceleration of an body. Product of velocity and time give displacement of an object moving with a uniform velocity. The area enclosed a velocity time graph and the time axis will be equal to the magnitude of this displacement. If a body moves with a constant velocity, then velocity time graph for this body would be straight parallel to time axis shown in the figure 5. You can see in the previous slide. The velocity time graph of uniformly changing velocity is shown in figure C, and it is a straight line. That means it is carrying a constant acceleration. We can find out the value of acceleration using the velocity time graph. For calculating acceleration at time corresponding to the point R perpendicular to RP, from point R as shown in figure, then A is equal to what? Change in velocity by time taken. That means acceleration is equal to PR, that is perpendicular to the base. That means PR divided by OR, which is equal to what? Slope of the velocity time graph. So we concluded that slope of velocity time graph of a moving body gives its acceleration when you are understanding the numerical of graphical representation. Distance traveled by moving body in a given time will be equal to area of triangle OPR as shown in figure 6. Then distance traveled is what? Area of triangle OPR, which is equal to what? 1 by 2 area of rectangle ORPQ. Then distance traveled is equal to how much? 1 by 2 into OQ into OR. So when the velocity body changes in an irregular manner, then the velocity time graph of the body is a curved line. Equation of motion by graphical method. We already know about equation of motion when an object moves along a straight line, right? We already know how to derive them, but these equations can be derived graphical method. See this condition, again we are going to take time in x-axis and velocity in y-axis. In u, you know what is this u? This u represent initial velocity and v represent the final velocity of an object. So what does this condition says? It carries a constant speed. So it is getting a straight line or it is getting a slope like this. So we are considering A this point and B this point and this is C point and this is D point. Okay. Now we will discuss detailing this equation of motion. First condition, consider the velocity time graph of an object that moves under uniform acceleration. So this condition is what? Uniform acceleration. From this graph, you can see that initial velocity of the object is u at point A. And then it increases to v at point B in time the velocity changes at a uniform rate a. Again from figure it is clear that the time t is represented by OC, initial velocity u by OA and final velocity of the object after time t by BC. So this BC, you know, the time traveled by this object, and also OA is nothing but OA is what? The initial velocity of the body. OA is nothing but from O to U only they are saying. So OA is what? The initial condition of the body. From figure as given in, it is clear that BC is equal to what? BC is equal to this condition. BC is equal to is nothing but there is change in velocity. Then BD plus DC is equal to BD plus OA. This BD is nothing but BD plus DC. They are taking instead of DC is what? OA. Right? And so we have V is equal to what? V is nothing but the total condition BC. This BC is what here represented in the graphical representation is B. This is equal to BD plus U. So consider first equation. And second equation, we should now find out the value of the quantity in time. So the acceleration of the body is given by what? A is equal to change in velocity, that is BD divided by AD, which is equal to BD by OC, which is equal to what? BD by T, which gives BD is equal to A into T. Putting this value of BD in equation 1, we get B is equal to A plus U plus AT, which is the equation of first velocity time relation. And second relation, it says derivation of second equation of motion. That means again you are considering the same condition of graphical representation. Now distance is equal to what? Area of a trapezium. So total trapezium structure you are going to consider, which is equal to what? Area of a triangle. Area of a rectangle plus area of a triangle. That means ACDO and DABC, then which is equal to what? Base into height, area of a rectangle, base into height, that is OD into OA plus half into BC, base into height, BC into AC. Then you know what are the quantities between these points? T into U plus 1 by 2 V minus U into T. Then UT is equal to half V minus U into T. Then T into U is equal to nothing but plus 1 by 2 V minus U into T. UT is plus 1 by 2 AT. AT is nothing but V minus U. That is, since you know very well, acceleration is equal to what? V minus U by T. Okay. So this condition we are going to consider A into T. So taking cross multiplication, that's what they have substituted here. So AT into T. So S is equal to, we have proved S is equal to what? UT plus of AT square. And third equation of motion also we are again considering, and we are proving the displacement happen in the particular graphical representation. And you know distance is equal to again trapezium, but here we are going to consider 1 by 2 OD plus BE or BE plus OD into height. OD plus B is nothing but V plus U into T. Then 1 by 2 V plus U into V minus U. That is, instead of, you know, from first relation, we are considering T is equal to V minus U by A. Then you substitute it in this condition, you will get V square minus u square by a, then 2as is equal to v square minus u square. So this is the proof for third equation of motion. So this relation is nothing but position and velocity. Uniform circular motion. So in this case, a particle which is moving in a circular path, circular direction in a particular path. So what happened to this condition? So in this case, you know, when the direction of motion in the circular path, the velocity direction in any point, the direction which is in the tangent line. Okay, tangent line, like this, the direction we have to consider. And the force is tends to move towards center point. That means it called it as centripetal acceleration. The center seeking force when the particle which is moving in a circular path. So the movement of a body following in a circular path is called what? Circular motion. Now the motion of a body moving with constant speed along a circular path is called uniform circular motion. Here the speed is constant but the velocity changes. So in a circular path the magnitude is equal, but the direction of this condition, all the tangent point is different. In our everyday life, we came across many examples of circular motion. For example, cars going around the circular track and many more. Also, Earth and other planets revolve around the Sun in a roughly circular orbits. If the speed of the circular orbit any particle is constant, then moving in a circular motion, still the particles accelerates because of constantly changing direction of the velocity. If an object moves in a circular path with uniform speed, its motion is called what? We say uniform circular motion. Here in circular motion, we use angular velocity in place of velocity. We used while studying linear motion. So, in a condition of straight path, you know very well, it is a rectilinear motion. But in the case of circular path, we have to consider the velocity is what? Angular velocity. Force which is needed to make a body in a circular path, travel in a circular path is called what? Circular motion, and it is called what? Centripetal force. We know that the circumference of a circle of radius r is given by 2 pi r. If the body takes t seconds to go around the circular path of radius r, the velocity v is given by v is equal to what? The circular path, the circumference of the circle distance covered 2 pi r by t. One thing we must keep in our mind, in that uniform linear motion is not accelerated, but uniform circular motion is accelerated motion. Example of uniform circular motions are motion of artificial satellites around the earth. Moon, the natural satellite of the earth, moves in a uniform circular motion around the earth, and cyclist moving on a circular track with the constant speed exhibits uniform circular motion. Thank you.